Yep. So hello everyone, thank you for joining for our monthly meetup to introduce all the new members of the Blockchain Game Alliance for this month of June. This month we are going to present a lot of new, fantastic, amazing companies who are participating in building games, building services, and much more to move the ecosystem forward. But before I let every of these company introduce themselves for about 10 minutes each, I would like to give you a brief introduction about what is the Blockchain Game Alliance for those of you who are not yet familiar. So allow me to walk you through. Blockchain Game Alliance is a non-profit organization committed to promoting blockchain within the game industry. Our goal is to spread the awareness about blockchain technology and encourage the adoption for developers, gamers, creators to discover and benefit from new ways of creating, publishing, playing games, monetizing games, and building strong communities around those games, among some of the possibilities offered by the blockchain technology, decentralized gaming, non-fungible tokens, DAOs, and many other possibilities. The BGA also provides an open forum for individuals and companies to share knowledge, network, create business opportunity, collaborate, establish best practice, and many more things. So what are the core activities from the Blockchain Game Alliance? Essentially networking, research and reporting, representing all the blockchain games companies, providing visibility and communication for our members, and finally advocating for blockchain within the game industry. I'm really pleased to say that we are growing as a family, as a non-profit organization. We have more and more members coming every month. We are now close to 150 companies. You can see this big picture with so many logos already. So it's exciting to see so many actors in the space sharing the same objective, sharing the same goal to broaden the adoption, to build together. And how are we achieving it? We are achieving this through various activities that we are proposing to our members, including a live interview with key actors in the space, including publishing resources to democratize the knowledge around this technology for traditional gamers and gaming studios, by organizing meetups like this one today with new members, but also meetups that can be focused on specific topics that give space and visibility to different projects to talk. We are also organizing different like webinars around legal topic, around DeFi coming this week, around the DAOs, giving you some pictures. We offer free speaking opportunity at various events as well to our members, as well as free tickets to those events. Without any further ado, let's jump into the new members presentation. And I'm really excited to announce Blockade Games, Infura, Atari, Cryptomotors, Merfolk Games, MetalPay, Algorand, Pixel Chain, NOD Games, Metamask, Cryptio, Bitski, CUDO Ventures, First Blood, and Opensea among all our new members this month. Please give them a warm welcome, a big round of applause. We'll have today our speakers. Some of them were able to join to present what they are doing today during 10 minutes each. So we'll start with Lloyd from Funfair. So, and just right before, one last word to give a big thank you to our sponsors who are really supporting strongly the BGA, AMD, Ubisoft, Matic, MakerDAO, Algorand, who joined us this month and becomes a new sponsor, and Animoca Brands. If you're interested into joining the Blockchain Game Alliance, you can follow us on Twitter or reach via our website in the join section. And also you're free to chat with us at any time on our Telegram and Discord channels. Thank you very much. And now I'm giving Lloyd, I'm bringing Lloyd's slides on screen.
Okay, let me share my screen. 1 second. Can you see my screen?
That's perfect. All right, Lloyd. So
you got
the
it.
stage is yours. You can begin presenting.
Thank you very much. So yeah, it's great to be here presenting to the Blockchain Gaming Alliance. We're really excited to join. My name is Lloyd Purse. I'm COO of Funfair Technologies. Some of you may have heard of us if you've been in the blockchain space for a while. Some may have not. And the title of the presentation here that we've got is really all about driving user adoption. It's something that we've been completely focused on because we've been operating in the space for some time. We'll come on to talk a little bit more about that. But we see it as one of the key issues that exists within the blockchain ecosystem at the moment. So we're completely focused on that, and we'll talk a little bit about that today. So first of all, why did we join the BGA? Well, we want to be an active part of the community. We really want to be part of the community to learn from other members and other companies within the community, but also to help on educating on some of our experiences so far. We see that as a critical part of why we want to be here, and hopefully we can add value to the community and add value to our business through the community. And the other thing is to drive further adoption. Again, coming to that point around adoption, but drive further adoption through blockchain, through partnerships, and creating partnerships on multiple levels. So we have various facets to our business, let's say, that we've built over the years that we've been developing. We have a platform, we have games, and we have a wallet, and we see a value within this community for all of those things. So that's really why we joined the BGA, and we really want to be part of that community and give and take value out of it. So quick overview on Funfair. Just a few slides on what we've been doing. So we're the first licensed supplier of B2B blockchain solutions for iGaming. iGaming in this case being the gambling world. We kicked off back in 2017, and we built the first community usage of state channel tech, we'll say, which is on Ethereum. We're an Ethereum platform, and we built some technology called fake channels, which enabled gameplay on through our platform to happen at a normal speed. It's effectively taking the gameplay through state channel off chain, and then but enabling players to still get the benefits of everything that they would get through the blockchain. So we built that back early in the day, and we've continued to push that technology through on our platform. We are an operator of blockchain gaming dApps for 3 white labels currently. We've been live since 2018. All of the iGaming transactions that are powered on our platform are powered by our fund token, which is an ERC20 token. That's currently listed on most major exchanges and has a market cap of around 25 million at the last look. But I think the key point here is that, again, coming into this adoption, what we're talking about here is that our dApps are currently the most popular gambling dApps on Ethereum. And since we've launched, we've delivered $7 million in wagering volume. That's 4 million game rounds. And we've had 16,500 wallets created on the platform. So, looking at that in comparison to the normal centralized world, the numbers aren't staggering. But we believe in the blockchain world that we've managed to gain traction to a degree, and we really want to start pushing that up. So this is all about, and everything that we've done to date since we've gone live is all about trying to drive further adoption. So I'm just going to play a quick video. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this.
At Funfair Technologies, we've built the future of casino gaming that you can play right now. Introducing the best in blockchain gaming. We've made it easy for you to play the best games on any browser and on any device. And with our new registration process and wallet, you can be playing in no time. It's an easy sign-up, no messing around with private keys or seed phrases, and no downloads. And because of our blockchain technology, we can guarantee fairness. State-of-the-art, provably fair games. Never lose custody of your funds. Independent adjudication. All wins paid instantly and in full. Blockchain gaming has never been more fun or more fair.
hopefully that worked for everybody. The latency was okay. But what we really packaged up in that video is all of the benefits that we can bring to players through blockchain tech without without them having any kind of impaired experience around how the games would play or how quickly the games would play. So the guaranteed fairness, which is one of the key elements that we bring, is really a package of multiple of things within our platform, and really is what trustless transactions is a key part of what blockchain provides or enables. So the fact that a customer signs up and has a wallet with us, it's a non-custodial wallet, so they control the private keys, they control the crypto in that wallet, and whenever they open a game, they take money into a game, the money's held in escrow into the game, and then the operator brings funds into that game. That game won't open if the operator doesn't bring enough funds to pay the customer within that game session. So they are guaranteed an instant payment of money directly straight into the wallet that they control. And if there are any disputes within the game, there's inbuilt dispute management. Also, then the random number generators are also can be verified. So we've built a complete package of guaranteed fairness within the gambling world. And that's a critical part of what blockchain's enabled us to do. But we've also done that without impacting the gameplay experience, so enabling that all of those good things to happen, and for customers to have a really fun and exciting experience. So the milestones that we've kind of hit in delivering that is we launched our fake channels and did an ICO back in 2017. We then secured a Curacao gaming license, which enabled us to operate our first brand on mainnet. Casino Fair, we released that in September 2018. That was using Metamask as a wallet. Then as we moved through actually operating Adapt, onboarding customers, one of the key issues that we had was really around any browser, any device. We were desktop only. We were going out and talking to other operators in the space, talking about B2B deals. For anyone working in the Web 2.0 world to fathom that you didn't have mobile was hard, and it was absolutely critical that we wanted to get mobile support. In fact, we wanted any browser, any device support. So we looked into a number of options for wallets and actually made the decision to build our own. We actually made the decision that no one really gives us what we need for the right experience, the simplicity that we're trying to generate. So we're going to build our own wallet. So we went ahead and did that. I've released that in August 2019. We also released an on-chain affiliate program, which pays affiliates in real time through the smart contracts. We've then launched another 2 brands, Crypto Casino and King Tiger. We secured an Isle of Man token-based supplier license. The Isle of Man have a blockchain office based out there, and we secured the first token-based supplier license, which enabled us to go out and talk to other Isle of Man gambling suppliers in that year, late in that year. And then coming into 2020, one of the key things, we've reached a critical mass of some really good high-quality games. 25 plus games now live on the platform. Majority of those have been built by us. And we've also added further iterations to the wallet. And yesterday just released a wallet, a V2 with a new UI that already had fiat to crypto included. It had crypto to crypto services. We've now added other services like Uniswap. We've improved our KYC. So we've really taken our sort of white label wallet, which we'll come on to a little bit further, to another level from our point of view, from the UI point of view, and also from a usability point of view from the customers and an onboarding point of view. So a quick one on our game studio. We've built quite a few different types of games. They are, as you can see, hopefully you can see by the artwork and what we've done, they are really good quality games for what's existing out there in the blockchain world. No blockchain gaming that would be right without a dice game. We've built a dice game. It's one of the most popular games that we've had going back from the beginning. We built some slot games. Shamrock Riches is one of the most popular slot games. Really simple 3-line slot game with a nice bonus round with a wheel mechanic. Very popular. But then we've looked at other types of content that we can build as well. So the cheese heist game that we've got here on the right hand side. So that is that's effectively like a minesweeper mechanic. You can choose the grid sizes, which will impact how much you can win. But you decide where you want to go, how you want to navigate through that game. You can cash out. So we're putting a bit more user control, trying some different mechanics in the games. Banana Blast is an instant win game, which has when you blast certain fruit, it cascades down. You can multiply up. So it's a really nice different type of mechanic. Again, a very popular game as we have it on the platform. And the two games that we've got at the bottom here, the sort of Street Fighter style game and the tower defense game, are actually work in progress at the moment. As you can see, they're work in progress. They're looking pretty good. But the fighter game here we've got is actually a rock paper scissors mechanic with added excitement in it. And there's different modes. You can do single player mode, battle mode, tournament mode. You go through and fight the bosses. The zombie tower defense game, you are effectively shooting zombies to prevent them, and every time and as you shoot more zombies, you accumulate more money. You can also, as one of your towers starts to get overcome by zombies, you can rebet more money to blow up more zombies. So we're really looking at some different types of, you wouldn't see any of these games in a traditional centralized casino. And we're looking at how we can build different types of content to attract a different audience, which is clearly where the blockchain space is a different, younger audience to what we see in the normal centralized world. And that really kind of comes into what as well, how we're trying to do something different with our wallet. So let me just kind of outline a little bit of what we've experienced with our wallet. But onboarding is the biggest issue for growth. We've seen that in the years that we've been operating dApps and bringing customers in, and we've had first-hand experience of that for some time. But for new users, so users who aren't so crypto savvy, let's say, which is how we are going to grow this ecosystem, Web 2.0 is the usability benchmark. That's what they're expected. That's what they're used to. It's easy, simple, and they understand it. Web 3.0 access is often techie, complicated, and unknown to them. So what we've always tried to do in attracting new users into the ecosystem is to ensure that we have a wallet which has a known experience, a known user experience for those users. That's known UI, account creation management, security settings, and simple funding options. We also believe that onboarding through the white labels that we've developed is easier through a known and trusted brand, and in essence, that's the brand that acquired them. So we have currently on our platform, we have Casino Fair, we have King Tiger, and Crypto Casino. Those three brands, the wallet is integrated seamlessly into those brands, so that the wallet looks like it's part of the dApp. We'll come in and show you some screenshots of that in a minute. So just a quick deep dive a little bit more into what that means. Well, we've built a B2B white label non-custodial Ethereum wallet. So by B2B and white label, if we look at the dApp developer benefits, what we mean is that the wallet has been built specifically to be integrated into a third-party dApp and look like part of that dApp, and for all intents and purposes be part of that dApp. It's just that it's our wallet and it's integrated into a third party. So it's themed for the dApp's brand colors and logo. We've had on our own dApps so far 16,500 registered wallets. We've built out the documentation and understand how to do integrations. It's easy to integrate, and we've also added further configuration to the wallet so that dApp developers can do things to their own requirements. There's no changes to your Web3 or Ether SJS code, which means that there's no big lifting required. It's easier to integrate. We've got new functions like new block notifiers. We've also got integrated KYC providers. Us being in the gambling space, KYC is a key part of what we do in enabling customers to get through. So we have integrated KYC providers, 2 at the moment, moving to 3. And we actually have a services arm which can process those KYC requests as well, because we're currently doing it for our existing operations. If we look at the consumer benefits, well, it's a non-custodial wallet, works on any browser, any device, no extensions required. That is, in essence, what we did in V1 of the wallet. That's exactly what we wanted to build, and that's what we went ahead and did. Key part of that was to make sure that it's easy. So it's easy to set up accounts. We didn't want unique crypto processes, so there's no seed phrases. It's a super simple UI. We add things like a fiat exchange rate so that you can see where you are, how much fiat money you have in crypto in your wallet. We have a single sign-on across any dApp that's using the wallet. And then we have fully featured account management security, two-factor authentication, account recovery, and secondary email as well. So we've kept all of the Web 2.0 features that any user would expect or know or understand in an existing application. Fiat on and off ramps. We've got integrated crypto swap solutions, I think I mentioned before, through Changely and now Uniswap. We're looking at more of those. We also add a detailed transaction and token transfer history into the wallet as well. So if we look at the different iterations of what we've got, on the left-hand side here, we can see the sign-on screen for King Tiger. This is one of our brands, and the actual sign-up process is incredibly easy. To sign up, you put your email address. You are then asked to verify your email address. And
hey, Lloyd.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. We are over the 10 minutes, so we're getting a little bit late with other speakers. If you can close in 1 minute, so we don't
yes,
late for all the others. Thank you.
No problem. I'll close in 1 minute. So we've got the four different iterations of you can see of the wallets that we have, the white labels that we have, different screens, depositing, security. We also have a help screen here, which is helping to guide customers through with video content and other things. So we're really helping the customer through the journey with the wallet. Just to wrap up, we've been developing dApps for a long time. We've got 3 key areas. I think that the key piece of news that we have in this is that the Funfair wallet's previously been exclusive to Funfair brands. We are currently looking at changing that. We're initially looking for a handful of partners to integrate the unique white label solution that we have in our wallet. And we're keen to talk to people who might be interested in that. So please do get in contact if you are. And if you have a dApp that's looking to onboard new users and is looking for a very simple and integrated white label solution for your dApp. And we're, of course, open and really interested to explore any ideas on games. You can see the quality of the content we've got. We can share some links where you can play some demos of our games. And obviously on the platform as well. We're interested in further adoption, whether that be white labels, working with affiliates, or generating new players.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lloyd. Sorry to have to rush you a little bit here. We are many to speak, so I'm trying to keep the event in no more than 2 hours. So without any further ado, we'll have Lee, who is joining us. Hi, Lee. Are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Excellent.
Is my slide open?
Yep, here you go.
All right.
The stage is yours, Lee. You can get started. Please stick to 10 minutes so we can get back on time. For time.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Hey everybody, thank you for having me and thank you for watching. My name is Lee Kai and I'm the co-founder of Phantasma Chain. So there's a lot to talk about regarding Phantasma, but in short, Phantasma is a one-stop blockchain for content distribution. So think about decentralized email, decentralized chat, social media, and storage. However, our main focus is blockchain gaming and tokenization of digital in-game assets. So in other words, non-fungible tokens or NFTs. So first, I'm going to introduce the topics for my presentation today. The most important aspect for today is VIBEHub. For the viewers who are not familiar with blockchain gaming yet, I'm going to briefly discuss the current problems in the gaming industry. So gaming companies, they use a centralized model. So the data is stored on a server which they control. This means that they can revert your account and delete the items. So in other words, the game company owns everything within the game. So even if you have spent real money, the game company still owns the items that you bought. Another problem is that items are often bound to the account. So even if they are not, the players usually cannot sell the items to other players for real money. This is where blockchain comes to play. Blockchain is by nature a decentralized network, so everything can be stored safely on the blockchain to provide maximum security and privacy. Blockchain can provide real ownership by non-fungible tokens, and gamers can freely trade non-fungible tokens on a decentralized marketplace for real money. However, there are a few limitations of blockchain. The first one is scalability. So blockchain is known as a relatively slow network compared to centralized networks. Bitcoin, for example, supports 7 transactions per second, and while Ethereum supports 15 transactions per second. The second issue is that we are in an early phase, so there's a low adoption rate. And the third one is the complexity of blockchain. So blockchain is referred to as hard to use, as consumers, they are fully responsible for their own wallet, for their own funds, and they have to store their private keys safely. And usually they also need to perform KYC to buy cryptocurrencies on exchanges. We are aware that building on top of blockchains may not be attractive due to scalability issues and high fees. That is why we have built our own blockchain from scratch to tackle these problems and to enable robust gaming platform ready for mainstream adoption. So Phantasma chain provides high scalability with 5,000 transactions per second, a 2-second block time, and has extremely low fees. There is a proven demand on Phantasma, as the first non-fungible token pre-sale hosted on Phantasma raised more than $100,000 already. Phantasma is designed for simplicity. We have a cross-chain interoperability with Neo and Ethereum, so people can swap their Neo and Ethereum coins to Phantasma and use those coins as a currency to buy NFTs on Phantasma chain. Lastly, we have a gaming hub called Pavilion, which is now in beta, and it is especially designed for blockchain gamers and non-blockchain gamers. Pavilion has a built-in store to make purchases such as NFTs and game purchases. It also supports fiat options, and it supports Steam integration to connect your Steam account to Pavilion. More on this later. So Pavilion for developers. Developers can sell the game and items on both Steam and Pavilion, and they can choose to tokenize their in-game assets as non-fungible tokens. With Pavilion, you can provide a seamless blockchain experience to your blockchain and non-blockchain customers. And another benefit to developers is that minting NFTs on Phantasma is very cheap. It's actually free. So that's a very big benefit for if you are if you want to launch a game on Phantasma. So this is what it looks like after connecting your Steam account to Pavilion. So you can access and play your favorite Steam and blockchain games within one single platform. So Pavilion has a very low entry barrier for all gamers, as the gamer does not require any blockchain knowledge. So a Pavilion account can simply be created by connecting and logging in through your Steam account, or you can just set up an account with a username and a password. And lastly, you can also access and view your NFTs in your Pavilion account, which looks like this. So all the cars and car parts are NFTs in here. So a fun fact of this is that the cars consist of 25 NFT car parts. So you can build your own unique car with 25 NFT car parts and sell it to other players. So you can also disassemble a specific car, such as the Phantasma White, and then you can get back 25 NFT car parts in return, and you combine that with other car parts. So if you disassemble it, the previous NFT will be burned, and it will mint 25 new NFT tokens, for example. So naturally, with our focus on gaming and NFTs, we need our own marketplace, which will launch within a few weeks. The Phantasma marketplace will be a multi-chain marketplace, initially supporting Neo and Phantasma NFTs, and later to be expanded to Ontology and Ethereum. It has a complete NFT explorer to include NFT transactions and transactions from NFT pre-sales. So this is a sneak peek of what it will look like. As you can see here, these are the chains currently supported. This is now in closed beta. It's being tested right now. So yeah, as you can see, Phantasma is being supported, Neo is being supported, and these are the games which are supported right now. So, and there are many games which are already being developed on Phantasma. The first game, which is in beta right now, is 22 Racing Series, which is also the first launch title on Pavilion. So as you can see, there is a diverse genre of games, but we are continuously scouting for talented game developers who are looking for a blockchain gaming platform to connect the game with. So if you're interested, yes, you can contact us for more information. So why would you, as a game developer, want to be a part of the Phantasma ecosystem? We have our own built-in Phantasma oracles to fetch real-world data and use that for your own game. We have on-chain data storage for your game data, and we have an SDK which supports multiple languages, such as C++, C#, JavaScript, and Python to be supported in the future. So yeah, if you're interested, please feel free to contact us for more information. To conclude my presentation, Phantasma provides an affordable, high-capacity, and scalable gaming platform for with our advanced NFT technology, NFT marketplace, integrated gaming hub pavilion, and Steam integration. Phantasma is ready for the future of blockchain gaming, and we welcome game developers and game studios to be a part of our ecosystem. Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Lee. Great presentation. Our next speaker will be Antoine from Cryptio. Antoine?
Yes.
Yes. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Do you have any slides to share with us?
Yeah, I think
Here they are.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Great.
So, anytime you like.
Okay, let's do it. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. So yeah, let's talk about a little bit about Cryptio. So Cryptio is an accounting solution for digital assets. What we're doing basically, it's we're helping businesses holding digital asset get their accounting done. So any type of business, including some businesses in the blockchain gaming industry that are holding digital asset ranging from traditional crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, to more like NFTs or any type of assets that lie on a blockchain, our software basically automate the bookkeeping of the transactions of this of these assets. So basically what we do is that we let our clients hold proper and transparent accounts and meet the compliance obligation. As partners or founders, builders in the blockchain gaming industry, you may have faced difficulties. You may have faced difficulties working with your accounting firm or tax administration because it's just like a nightmare to take care of this. So at the end, what you do usually is that you end up by paying an accounting firms like 10x or 20x more than what you will regularly pay to as an early stage business. You will regularly pay, and basically you will spend during the accounting season. You will spend all your day at the phone with your accountants because he will ask you, what is this transaction? What is that transaction? Could you explain me what an NFT is, and those kind of stuff. So basically our product is here to automate everything and to basically to push to your accountant or your accounting system data that it can understand. So it's really about automating all these process. Like today, a lot of companies basically they're just like getting transaction on Etherscan or different types of explorers, exchanges, try to do something in Excel and push it to the accounting system. So it's really, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. Is usually it's done inaccurately, and we're just here to automate this and push data that that the accounting firm understands. So the way it works, it's like we monitor all the company's wallets, exchange accounts, custody solutions, everywhere where he is doing transactions. We automating tracking and pulling all the information around transaction. Automatically, we valuing all the flows in your local currency. If your business is based in the UK, we'll value a transaction in pounds in a transparent and compliant way. Something that you could use in case of audit, for instance. And then the software basically is doing what we call automated bookkeeping. So basically transaction classification, cost basis, gains and losses, computation, invoicing management, balances tracking, all these type of stuff that could be a bit technical, but all these type of stuff that basically your accountant will need to work and do the job in an efficient way. And then the idea is really to help the accounting firm. What you need to do really is to push transaction on the data on the software that they're currently using. So most accounting firms today use cloud-based accounting software like Xero, QuickBooks, this type of stuff. And maybe your business is already part of the fiat part of your business is already maybe accounted through the software. So if you want to do the accounting in a seamless, efficient, cost-efficient way, you just need to push crypto transaction to these software. So that's also something that we're doing. And since it's a very early space and companies and accounting firms need to figure out how to do this, basically we provide additional services. We spend consulting time. We do consulting time with accounting firms and CFOs of businesses to basically try to understand their needs and basically try to share our knowledge and the expertise that we've built working with a bunch of crypto companies and a bunch of accounting firms. Maybe just rather than just a quick focus, just to let you know how things work. So basically it is you will track, as I said, all your wallets, exchange accounts, custody solutions. So just need like here is you have a ETH wallet. So could you just copy paste addresses here? You can give a name to the wallet. You can add as many wallet exchange accounts as you want. All the transaction flow automatically in the software. You have a transaction history where basically all your transactions are here. And as you can see, the end goal is basically to provide information that everyone can understand. So you have identified counterparties. So if you're receiving, for instance, money like revenue from client, you're able to identify the specific client. You have everything labeled in your local currency. You know that you can automate and label transaction and see that it's like consulting revenue, staking rewards. And so basically when you're sending the data to your accountant, you understand what's happening. And so you can pay way less your accounting fees and you spend way less time with your accountant and focus more on building what you're doing. We have a bunch of other features, but just to show you how it looks like. Yeah, so I think we already talked about this. So yeah, really like the benefits of what we're doing and what we're building is basically to make you save time and money, because what we realized is that usually companies and startups spend like 10x, 20x, sometimes more than the same startup will spend for accounting services, the same startup that has no digital asset into their balance sheet. So really the idea is in order to push people and to incentivize people to build into the space. This is basically a massive problem. So we want to make companies save time and money on this, on the accounting firm side, and also to have kind of a transparent and bookkeeping system that enables them to be more compliant. So in terms of audit, if you want to be, if you're a regulated business, or if since that now like more and more regulators are looking what's happening in the crypto space, basically since you have everything in the same place, you can basically communicate and share access to people who want to see, basically try to understand what's happening on the crypto side of your business. So today we're working with a lot of different players in the crypto space, so including some blockchain gaming companies. So we're working with protocols. We're working with decentralized applications. We're working with companies in DeFi space, also a bit of some funds and crypto funds, but that's not really the topic here. Basically, any type of business that have a significant amount of transaction, and it's found quite challenging to monitor to monitor manually. We can potentially be helpful. So yeah, clients include companies like Consensus, Cello, in the blockchain gaming space, Ultra, used to work with Funfair also, and a bunch of others. We've raised a seed round with Consensus and CUDO Ventures, and we have basically a network of accounting firms all over the world. So again, the idea, and that's really the thing that we want to bring to the alliance, not just like selling you the software guys, but it's really that we spending all my time, basically all my day. I spend half of my day talking to accounting firms, the other half of my day talking to crypto companies. So if you guys have any questions, any questions around accounting, compliance related stuff, we might be helpful. We might be able to answer this question, or if we're not, we have a network of different firms that could be potentially helpful for you guys. So we really like see ourselves and see me as the kind of the go-to guy for all your accounting and tax related problems. And if I can't answer your questions, I'd be happy to redirect to someone who can be helpful. So yeah, that would be me. Feel free to reach out, Antoine at cryptio.co. Or just like go to the website. You can send us some messages. For BGA members, we'll be active on the Discord. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. And feel free to shoot any question if you have any. Thanks.
Thank you, Antoine. Our next speaker is Jacob from Metamask. Jacob,
hey everybody.
Cantele, are you here? Yes.
Yeah, I was able to get in. Had a little bit of trouble with that earlier. Apologies.
No worry. Do you have any slides to share on the screen as well? You can screen share yours directly. I think it's better if you have controls.
Sure. Give me 1 second to do that. All right. I've never used this product before. You see my slides?
Yes. Here they are. So you can go full screen by clicking the present button. And
all right.
Yes.
People are still able to do that?
You can go ahead.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Hi. Thanks everyone. Hi, I'm Jacob Cantele. I'm head of product for Metamask. We're a product of Consensus. We are working to democratize access to the entire decentralized web and are a universal solution across all blockchain use cases. So from gaming to DeFi to token swaps to payments, Metamask handles it all and brings the most interoperable and universal solution to your customers. So I will show this really quickly.
This is Sam. Sam uses the internet just like the rest of us. Lots of apps she uses seem to be free, but they actually come at a cost. She knows the internet isn't very secure and strangers own her data. Credit cards are stolen, identities get hacked. She has to navigate a maze of ads just to surf the web, and she knows someone is always watching. But she's heard there's a better way. And then Sam sees it. The promise of a new internet powered by the Ethereum blockchain, an amazing combination of technologies the world is building together that are reinventing how we connect to one another, and it's just within her reach. But to access this new world, she needs the right tools. Meet Metamask, your connection to the new web. Metamask is the tool Sam needs to access this new world. It's a key that connects her to new types of applications. It's a wallet that keeps her data and valuables safe and sound. and it's a shield that protects her from hackers and data collectors. With MetaMask, Sam is ready to explore this new internet safely and securely. The possibilities are endless. Sam can use next-generation applications that give control back to the users and the community, own her data, and move seamlessly between sites, and send money across the world at a fraction of the cost. Create new organizations with new currencies that bind her communities together. Crowdsource projects and art, or invest in other people's creations. Sound too good to be true? Well, with great freedom comes great responsibility. Sam controls her own identity on this new internet. No more new passwords for every site she visits. Just a secret phrase that controls her accounts. This phrase is her login, her password, and her proof of ownership all wrapped up in one. So Sam has to keep it as safe as she possibly can. Now that she's installed MetaMask, Sam's ready to explore the best version of the internet. Vote, crowdfund, buy stuff, publish writing, make art, hire freelancers. What will Sam do first? Whatever she wants. The internet is hers to explore. Welcome to a new kind of internet. Welcome to MetaMask.
Great. So, I'm going to run through some of these early slides really quickly. I don't think it's news to anyone. The old ad-based internet lacked the transactional layer. As a result, a lot of the business models that people are used to are based on the mining of people's data, treating people as a product. This has its own manifestations in the gaming industry, where the great content that people beloved in the industry is dying and is being replaced by pay-to-win models and things like that. And these are widely not appreciated by the people who use them. So apps are forcing people to overshare their data. People are shamed for trying to protect their data. People can't leave the platforms that they're a part of. They're basically stuck in them. Enter MetaMask. So in the most basic sense, MetaMask is a secure, easy-to-use Ethereum wallet. Historically, that's what it was. We're going to be a lot more than that, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Unlike a traditional crypto wallet, we're also a Web3 gateway, so you can log into sites with one common login. You can interact with a game. You can or play a game. You can join a DAO. You can do all of those things, and that cross application usability, the interoperability, builds value for the entire ecosystem. It compounds the value, sort of like Steam. It enables gamers not only to discover one game or someone to use one use case, but also to be brought into an ecosystem of many different use cases and many different games and dApps. And it creates value for all of us and grows the ecosystem. We're cross-platform. We have a mobile app, which is launching in July. And we have a desktop app or a desktop browser extension as well. And we also integrate with hardware wallets for heightened security. Our product gives people control over their own identity with a universal and interoperable solution. So you don't need a login for every site that you use anymore. There's one-click login. Your collectibles, they persist across any game that you play. You can connect them to an exchange and buy and sell them in places like Opensea and other places. The wallet itself makes requests explicit and puts the user in control. It's empowering to the user. We make the requests that a site is asking for clear and explicit, and have a great user experience in what is historically a very complicated ecosystem. We also allow the user to revoke permissions and be fully empowered to connect a site to a site, control which permissions each site has, and to revoke permissions from a site or disconnect a site if they want to. And the app is meant to share progressively so that users feel more comfortable. This is an example of our one-click login, and there are libraries available that make it really easy to log in using MetaMask for your game, or to make it easy for you to onboard users into MetaMask, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So MetaMask 2.0. So let's talk a little bit about where MetaMask is going. So today, these are some of our top use cases: payments, trading, gaming. Actually, gaming is the #2 use case in our metrics. So gaming and gamers are critical to MetaMask and its success. DeFi, art collecting, all of these grow the gaming ecosystem. The gaming ecosystem grows these other use cases. It's a feedback loop. We've got over 4 million installs, 1.5 million monthly transactions, and actually 300,000 monthly active users now. Our monthly active users are actually a pretty high bar too. It's someone who logs into the wallet and then completes an action, like a transaction or something like that. So you can get a sense of the massive size for the blockchain ecosystem in comparison to other wallets or dApps or things like that. And our mobile app, the beta itself, since it's been out for about a year, it's been in beta for about a year, but just since January, the monthly active users I think they're actually at up 350% this year. And I'm going to say a little bit about interoperability. So MetaMask, it's a universal solution, which means that all these dApps are compounding on each other. Game developers can leverage MetaMask as a upgrade path for your gamers. So we are, this week, we're launching MetaMask version 8, which will allow you to do a one-click onboarding path where your game can send the user to install MetaMask and then be brought back to your game at the end of that. We're also working on a wallet SDK that will be a version of MetaMask that can be embedded inside your game and make it very easy for you to onboard gamers, and then allow those gamers to upgrade to the full MetaMask at a later point. So this should remove a lot of the onboarding friction that games have. And then finally, we're launching a plugin system that makes it really easy to connect to custom blockchains or layer 2 scalability solutions. So this is an example of it on the far right. If you use Ethereum as your base trust layer for the trading of collectibles, but you also need a layer 2 solution for real-time transactions inside your game, when the gamer connects to your site, they are prompted to install the plugin. And so it's very low friction, great user experience, and it will allow you to install a custom blockchain like Starkware, Scale, any of the many different things, or a totally different custom blockchain is possible. Like, someone could install Bitcoin or Zcash or something like that. We are working on launching that this year, and we'll have a number of different releases that are going to be related to that, including developer previews and betas with specific plugins. So that is it. Thank you so much.
All right. Next, thank you, Jacob. We'll have Gabriel next. Hi, Gabriel.
Hi.
It's quite late on your side, right? You're in Shanghai.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
right.
No problem. So I'll talk a little bit about Merfolk Games. So just a bit of background information about myself. My name's Gabriel Meredith. There's my Chinese name. I was born in Hong Kong and I grew up in Shanghai. And then for my bachelor's, I actually have a background in history. So for my bachelor's, I went to the University of Michigan to study the history of art. And after I graduated, I moved to Baltimore for a year to work in a museum. And these are two of the exhibitions that I curated, one on Qing Dynasty porcelains and the other on contemporary Japanese ceramics. And for my master's, I moved to London and went to the University of London's School of Oriental and African Studies, where I continued the history of art and archaeology. And yeah, I actually wrote my dissertation on trade relations between China and Persia. And you're probably wondering what a historian / archaeologist is doing making blockchain games. But that actually kind of what brought me into history in the first place was playing games like Civilization and Age of Empires. And so after I did my master's, I started thinking about, whether I want to go into gaming, because I've also always been interested in, tinkering around with Game Maker or RPG Maker and things like that. And also my brother has been in the San Francisco Bay Area for about 5 years or so, making video games and more recently blockchain games. So he kind of roped me into all of the blockchain stuff with the new technology and kind of thinking about what we could do with the new game to kind of push the limits of the new technology. So I decided that, after I graduate, I'm going to move back to Asia. And I went to Hong Kong and I incorporated Merfolk Games about 2 years ago. And then I also incorporated the subsidiary studio in Shanghai, Mingdao Studio, which is kind of the development office. So here's our office in Shanghai. It's the 4 of us and then me. And these are the people on the right who are kind of involved in Merfolk Games. So it's me and my partner, my brother and my sister, kind of helping with brainstorming on the side. The 2 programmers and the 2 artists. And actually the artist on the bottom right made these cool portraits of us. Which brings me to the game that we're making. So we've been working on Crypto Crusades for about 1.5 to 2 years. And yeah, Crypto Crusades is a blockchain strategy game on Ethereum. And yeah, it's set on a 3D planet based on the medieval period, so about 1,000 years ago. And it's a mobile game, so we want it to have a kind of a fun, interactive experience where you have your city on the 3D world. You have the tile, you collect resources from the tiles nearby, and you can use those resources to upgrade your buildings and build troops. And yeah, here's just a screenshot from our trailer. You use those troops, of course, to attack nearby cities. You can trade with them or battle with them. And from the beginning, the core of the game was always kind of like, how can we push the boundaries of this new technology? And so we have a couple ways that we're kind of thinking of that. So of course, NFTs and true ownership of assets was always a really cool part of blockchain gaming in my eyes. So we really wanted that kind of NFT economy to be an integral part of our game. So in our game, you can craft these historical relics and artifacts from about 1,000 years ago that we've heavily researched and created cool little NFT icons of. And then aside from crafting, just NFTs of relics that are kind of an in-game asset, we also have crafting of skins. So for architecture for your cities or clothing for your people, and even things like the colors of your borders or the design of your flag or crest. These are all things that we want to be fully customizable and craftable, and of course sellable. And yeah, we're hoping to have the game out by the end of 2020. We're working on the beta right now, and we're thinking the beta is gonna be done by the end of the summer and hoping for a full launch by the end of the year. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you, Gabriel. So we'll have Juan Manuel from Nice One as next speaker. Hi, Juan Manuel. These are your slides? Yes. Great. All right, Juan Manuel. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, Next One is a blockchain that aims the development of a sustainable video game ecosystem within a democratic governance style. So, from our perspective, there are some problems related to video game industry, and we want to fix them. So, the first one is that there are big corporations and video game studies that choose which projects are suitable to be funded and promoted and which are not. So we cannot forget that those are business. So they are made to earn money, as much money as they can. In this line, it makes sense to think that their main reason to promote or not a video game project is profitability. The sad part is that there might be high quality projects but are not that much profitable, which are doomed to do not get funded, do not get promoted, so that will never be developed. Another problem we think is that there are developers that need good connections with those corporations and video game studies if they want to get success. In this line, developers might have to show or even to think values and philosophy in line with the study. Going deeper, those developers might also accept a necessary change in their projects for the main reason to make them more profitable to the detriment of quality or the original idea. So, likewise, there are some developers that will never give up their principles and values and that have clearly ideals about how video games should be developed despite big study claims. In this line, we want to show you that gamers have one role. They take it or leave it. So they have nothing to do in this ecosystem. So in this line, there are another problematic that we see in blockchain and video games. During the last years, there has been developed several projects about blockchain integration in video games. Although we like blockchain implementation in video games, but we consider that there has been a constant problem. We have any blockchain for almost any service, but none with a holistic vision of the ecosystem. In other words, we consider that there is an over-specialization in this world that we compare with medic specialists. Of course, they are totally necessary, but there is also needed a hospital for them to work on. So in this line, we have seen also the growth of several blockchain related to video game projects that have not been totally transparent with the governance, with the rewards, or even with the business model until the mainnet, or even they changed the game rules without taking community into account. The third and the last problem we think is that there are so many video game developers that have almost no idea about what is blockchain and how it works. So, although video game developers might not consider the utility of blockchain for their development, if any of them would like to implement blockchain in this field, it might require an additional effort. So, in this line, we have one mission. Nice One blockchain mission is to be the nexus between services, blockchain, video game developer, studies, and gamers. Our mission is to promote video games from a fair and democratic perspective, and this means that the community will have the power to choose, shaking them from their actual passive role. Likewise, we aim to promote the development of plugins and add-ons that facilitates the implementation of blockchain in video games in order to make it more accessible for any video game developer, despite its knowledge about blockchain. In addition, our idea is to do all this from a fair way, which means clear rules for business model, for public sale, for governance, and for rewards. So, we thought that the first way to develop our idea was Iosayo blockchain. And that is for three reasons. The first one is that there are fast transactions. And the second one is that transactions are free, completely free. We think that if we want to develop a video game ecosystem within blockchain, both are a must. The last thing is the nodes. We think that it's needed a network that is governed by several nodes. We choose 111 nodes. 21 of them are in production, are producers, and 90 are in standby. You must keep in mind that all nodes, it doesn't matter if they are producer or if they are in standby, will get the same rewards. To get assured that this is performed in the first way and to minimize centralization and malicious things, we have developed a public sale system, which is to be determined the date, where everybody will be able to buy the tokens at the same price. There have not been any kind of pre-sale or offer for anyone. Tokens will be on sale at the same price for everybody. So, in this line, our public sale will be limited to a max amount of 3,000 United States dollars in tokens per investors. As we want to be totally transparent, you must keep in mind that we are not a business that is made to make money and to get a rich life train with investors' money. No, we have found a foundation. And this foundation will manage public sale funds as well as the token supply, reserved for marketing, development, and another stuff that is needed for the sustainability of the blockchain in a completely transparent way. This means that everybody will be able to audit our accounting ledger. This will be totally public, and in this we will record every cent, every Satoshi we used, together with the concept associated to it. But let's stop talking about numbers, and I will show you how we will proceed in order to achieve our mission. So imagine there is a video game developer. This video game developer has an idea, but he has no connection, he is not part of a big study, so he can send a proposal of the idea to the Nice One Foundation. The foundation will study the idea and will check the legitimacy of it, and then it will be transferred to the community. The community will have to choose if they like it or if they do not like it. If they like it, so the foundation will send to the developer a first payment for the start of the idea to materialize this project. So the next step is that developer have developed an alpha version. He will send it to the foundation. The foundation will study this and will send it to the community. Likewise, the community and the foundation will have the option to say if they like it or if not. You must keep in mind that all this time, every moment, community leads. So if community like it, the foundation will send the video game developer a second payment to continue the development of the product. In this step, it's very important that the community and the foundation will have the opportunity to give feedback to the video game developer. Here comes the third step. So the developer have developed a beta version. This beta version might have listened to the community feedback and might have been exclusive. This means that the community have any kind of privileges as compared to other communities, to other players or anything else. So in this line is the Nice One Foundation. If this is okay, that will send the third payment to the video game developer. So that's the final step for a video game developer. He released the project. The Nice One Foundation will go and will promote this project and this video game or anything else to not only to the community, to the whole population. So this will means that this will lead to foreign users to join our community and to grow for the ecosystem. So, but how will we do this with blockchain developers? Imagine there is a blockchain developer that have any kind of network implementation for the blockchain. So the foundation will ask the community again, do you like it? If the community say yes, we will reward the developer. Likewise, there is another blockchain developer. He designed a service or an idea for a smart contract. The foundation, the blockchain, asks the community if this should be funded or if this should not be funded. If the community say yes, the blockchain, Nice One Foundation, will say to the developer, okay, go for it, develop this one. The developer implement this, and the foundation will also reward this developer. So, in sum, we want to highlight the pillars, the basic pillars of our project. The main pillar is the community. We think that community must lead. We think that community must choose. And we think that community has very good idea, has potential, have diversity, and that every blockchain, every project must listen to community. The second pillars are developers. We dislike developers that are under we want developer to be free, to design the games they want, to design the best video games, although those games are not the most profitable games. The third pillar is rules. We want to state that our rules are totally clear. We are not a company. We are not designed to earn money. We want a free video game blockchain for community and for developers. And we will reach this through a democratic governance style and system with the nodes. So that's all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Juan Manuel. So next is Fred, right?
Yes.
Hello, Fred.
Hello. Let me share my screen.
Yes, that'd be great. Okay.
Trying to share 1 second. There. Is that working? Perfect.
Looks like so. Yeah. And you can move it full screen. I should work.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see me?
You can even you can try full screen, so you can
I am full screen. Oh.
Okay. Still show us some right bar.
Okay.
Yeah, the menu in Acrobat. Okay. Maybe you can go view or full screen.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is good enough. All right. So, hi, my name is Fred Krueger. I am with MetalPay, and we're a little different from some of the apps that we've talked about here. We're really a fintech app. Think Venmo or Cash App, combined with a blockchain app. Think Coinbase or EOS. And we're going to show you sort of our integrated offering that applies a lot to games. So first of all, who are we? Well, the company was formed in 2018, and it's the merger between two companies, MetalPay and Lynx. I'm from the Lynx side. I built one of the very first wallets for EOS, and then we created a new chain based on EOS called Lynx Chain, very popular. We had a number of very popular EOS games, including things like solitaire, video poker, things like that. These were all free-to-play games, and we had, north of 100,000 players, lots and lots of daily active users. So we came from the blockchain world, and we saw a lot of problems there. And the biggest problem that we saw was the fiat on-rails. So the idea of buying your thing in an exchange, going to a whole other app to send your tokens there, Going to another app to convert your tokens back just didn't work. And we really liked what Metal had been doing on the sort of consumer neobank side, combining a really regulated bank account with crypto, and they loved our stuff, and we decided to merge. And so we've raised over $14 million. We have 200,000 registered users now. We're managing over $160 million in our wallet. And just in terms of cash transactions in our Venmo, we've sent $16 million in cash transactions. And again, we're located in San Francisco, but I'm actually physically in LA, and we have also people in North Carolina. So what do we see as the biggest problem kind of with fintech today? Well, the biggest problem is most payments are done in credit card, and credit card has a lot of fraud. And so probably the biggest problem, I would say, in all of blockchain is how do you get the tokens? Well, if you're just using a credit card, you're going to be charged something like 10% fees on something like Simplex. The transactions are not going to go through. There's massive chargeback issues. If you're sending money, normally there's border issues. It's very difficult to send money to a lot of different places. And usability is a huge issue, sort of generally. And it's an issue I've been working on now for 2 years with Links, and Marshall has been working on for 3 years with MetalPay. And I would say we still haven't kind of crossed the product market fit on blockchain. So what's our market at Metal? Well, there's really kind of three markets. The first thing is businesses that want to pay people internationally. It's very difficult to do that right now. And we see stablecoins in particular as a great way to pay people internationally, but we need a great way to do that. This is sort of the premise of Stellar. It's the premise of Libra. So we think, a payment mechanism, especially cross borders, is a very compelling use case. The second big use case is websites and apps that want to accept cash and crypto. So rather than think about dApps, we think about games that need to take in cash or crypto and to buy tokens or to buy NFTs. So that's a big target market for us. And we don't think this has been solved yet. And the last thing is consumers and businesses, they really want to manage all their assets in one wallet, in one platform. And so, I came from the world of specialized wallets, Links, EOS only. I really don't want a specialized wallet. I want one wallet where I can put all my Bitcoin, all my Ethereum, all my coins, and all my cash, right? So I want to have all my Venmo, all my bank account in one wallet. And that really is our solution. It's a complete ecosystem. And again, we are fully compatible at the same level as Coinbase at this point. But we also have this Proton blockchain. And this is how we see the payment side working for apps, and in particular for games. So we started with EOS as our core EOS.io, which I know intrinsically. I participated in the launch of EOS.io, built the largest wallet on EOS.io. It's a very fast blockchain, but we changed it around a little bit. So we created a sort of a council similar to Hedera of high reputation members to pre-qualify all the block producers. So the governance is much better than EOS. So it's fast. It has a great governance, and it's capable of 3,000 transactions per second. Now, and I'll explain in a second why we need our own blockchain, why EOS or something else is not good for this. So here's our wallet, and our wallet really has three components. It has the cash component, which we think is critical. It's an actual FDIC-insured bank account, and this is extremely rare in the US. You're not going to find a lot of companies that can do this. This is not taking something with Simplex and buying crypto and destroying it. No, this is in and out, fiat rails, completely regulated, not easy to do. Second is there's an exchange. So you can buy and sell crypto right in the wallet and you can buy and sell Bitcoin at 0 fees. So this is the cheapest place to go buy Bitcoin for a consumer, bar none. And the last is this crypto wallet, which is tied to the non-custodial blockchain Proton that we just launched. So why Proton? Well, because there's a very, with all due respect to Metamask, we have a problem interacting blockchain apps with the actual blockchain. And, Chrome plugins, deep linking in iOS, not allowed by Apple, app stores within apps on Android, not the best way to go. So how do you solve this? And we solve this with a push request to the app, to the wallet. So this is a completely new technology that has emerged out of EOSIO gray mass and not part of the Block One, a completely new technology which we've perfected and brought to market. And basically what it works is you scan a QR code and the request is then pushed to your wallet, and the app can now push requests directly to your wallet, and those requests can be in US dollar terms. So we think is really an amazing way to hook up to things, and that's in beta right now. The next thing is we have our own exchange. So like Coinbase Pro, this is an exchange that we launched actually last week. It's great. It has all the features that you'd want in a high-end exchange, very tight spreads. It's amazing. So this is kind of where we see ourselves. We see ourselves as kind of at the intersection of a full blockchain Coinbase-like app and a fintech app like Venmo or Cash App. And that's kind of where we see ourselves. Our revenue model is extremely small percentage of transactions on Proton chain and a trading fee on digital assets in the Metal platform, mainly Metal X, our exchange. So that's our team, and that's basically it. I just want to say we're very interested in talking to anybody who's got tokens that are trading on exchanges, because we have a unique offering on MetalPay and Metal X. So if you're interested in having your token listed and being able to communicate with your blockchain, I think we have something very amazing for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred, for this presentation. Next, and almost last presentation, we have Keli with us. Hi, Keli, can you hear us?
Hello, hello. Give me just 1 minute
Great.
to share my screen here.
So Keli from Algorand, who is one of the new and latest sponsors of the Blockchain Game Alliance. So a special round of applause as well for being a stronger supporter in the ecosystem. Keli, stage is yours. Please tell us all what you're doing at Algorand.
Thank you, Sebastien. And just to confirm, you can see my slides?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see your slides, yeah.
Great, perfect, thanks. Yeah, so Algorand, we're new members. For those of you who have not heard of us, I'm going to just give a very brief overview for you today here of who we are and what we're focused on and where we're seeing traction. We're a relatively new entrant to the space in terms of protocols and blockchain platforms. Not to get to the punchline right away, but sort of blockchain and gaming and why Algorand. I think, gaming is one of the fastest growing industries in the world right now, and emerging technology like blockchain sort of signals the maturity and adoption and lets the gaming community expand the players and market opportunities and new ways of monetizing new and old models, which brings in more fans and opens up just the opportunities. I think earlier, a theme that was touched on a couple times that I've heard in this session of the rest of the speakers here is that this sort of community ownership of the gaming space. And I think, as we move from a corporation getting all of that to more decentralized games and solutions and loyalty points, collectibles, rewards, etc., I think we see, that there's an interest in that, and there's a real opportunity there for this community ownership of gaming. So Algorand has been attracting a couple of, Algorand's new. I'm going to get into that, sort of who's behind it, where we're at in our journey. But Algorand's a next-gen blockchain, and I think most of the adoption that we've seen in the gaming space specifically has been due to the speed and scalability. In addition to that, we've got the ease of creating an NFT. It's very simple, and it takes minutes, and very, very minor transaction fees due to the nature of the protocol and the fact that it's final. So we'll walk you through a little bit, but I wanted to lay that out there at the start. A little bit about who we are. So we've got the Algorand Inc., which is a technology company here in Boston, Massachusetts. A lot of folks out of MIT. We also have the Algorand Foundation with a number of leaders across Asia, Europe, and North America. Graded list of advisors. Would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Silvio Macaulay, who, if you haven't heard of him, he's sort of the godfather of modern day cryptography. He's been doing this for 30, 40 years, was the co-inventor of probabilistic encryption, ZKPs, ran VRF, and a lot of the other foundations that are in cryptography and blockchain today. He's a Turing Award winner and just a fantastic mind in this space. We're fortunate that he saw some of the early generation protocols that were coming out, stepped back and said, wait, this should be done a little bit differently and in a very different manner to achieve, global speed, scale, security issues, addressing all of that at a global level where everybody in the world could be using it. I think many of you are aware of all of these, so sort of prior approaches to blockchain with proof of work, delegated proof of stake, bonded proof of stake. Algorand is not one of those. Algorand is a pure proof of stake. Which in a nutshell, and I think this is important to pause on, just so that you understand, picking your blockchain and what blockchain you use is really important because it can help, establish how successful your game can be, how fast it can be, how secure it is, how high it can scale. And with Algorand, you have minimal computation. It's very extremely energy efficient. You could run it on a Raspberry Pi, you could run a node. It's very secure because of the network attacks, the network attack protection that has been put in place, and the way that the nodes are operated across the globe. Operates at enterprise speed, fully baked in, everything there. Blocks are propagated in 4 seconds. Those transactions have everything in them, whether it's an NFT with a lot to it, or it's a very simple algo exchange, or it's a smart contract. So all of that baked into that. Immediately final, it can't fork. It's been verified not to fork. All of the stuff that you're hearing about is all built directly into layer 1. So those NFTs that are created in the gaming space all benefit from that layer 1 security, speed, finality, and low costs. It's minuscule transaction fees. I've got it here at the bottom. It's less than 1/100th of a US penny. And then we've got a lot of tooling, and I'll talk a little bit about there, but robust developer tooling, tutorials, and stuff like that. I think the other thing, less in the gaming space, but more in the holistic view of what we're trying to do here at Algorand, we recognize, our public permissionless blockchain is it's a year old now, and we've seen a lot of adoption on that front. For a variety of reasons, but we also recognize the need for private and permission. So we're serving both those needs, where Silvio has developed this opportunity for co-chain that bridges the gap from both the private and the public. I think in the gaming space, it's most important in the public form, but we do have the opportunity to bridge that gap where it's needed. Again, a quick overview. I'm not going to get into too many weeds. There's a ton of information, use cases on our website at algorand.com. But we do have a very growing ecosystem of users and supporters that are all involved in building on the Algorand ecosystem. At a high level, early use cases, I'm going to focus on a couple of different gaming opportunities, but we've seen it across, let me see, I'm going to pull this up. It'll be easier for you to get across asset tokenization, the digital financial infrastructure, central bank digital currency, and stablecoins. So all of these digital assets, and if I were to summarize why they've come to Algorand, whether migrating from another platform or starting their business from scratch on Algorand, I would say it's mostly and mainly due to the fact that it's final, it doesn't fork, and it's speed, it's super fast, and it scales to meet the needs of global and growing organizations and solutions. Just on the gaming space, so, World Chess is leveraging the Algorand blockchain. They have, chess globally has 600 million fans. It's the most widely played game out there. There are more phones with the chess mobile app than there is any other application on it right now. It's an age-old game that World Chess is really modernizing. If you look at chess.com, there's an average of over 5 million games of chess played every day. So World Chess, as they look to modernize their game, was looking at blockchain solutions, was looking at what to do in terms of scaling their global chess community, which is vast at 600 million players. And they turned to Algorand for their digital rankings. They wanted to put digital rankings on a transparent, decentralized, public, open infrastructure so that at any point you could see who ranked above who. Now, they've also launched this in tandem with digital games where they've partnered with AI providers, but it's all plugged in on the back end to Algorand so that all of that is visible. One of the reasons they selected Algorand is because they needed to be able to scale, they needed to be fast, and they needed to do all of this on a public infrastructure with transparency. We have other use cases that go from there. Props is doing loyalty points, rewards. There's a lot of tokenization of other currencies, assets, security tokens, NFTs, FTs, and beyond. But this just gives you like a quick overview. It goes on from there. Again, this is a double click on that. Runs the gamut across industries, a number in the gaming space, collectibles and rewards. But this is just a quick overview of where we're at. Go to the website for a few more. I will say, just in terms of things that are relevant for this group and sort of where do you go from here once you understand what Algorand is. Like I said, there's a very robust set of tooling that's available on developer.algorand.com. We have an engaged DevRel team. If you need any help, there are a few folks that have gone in and have showcased and highlighted their games that they're doing with us. And then we've also got, through the Algorand Foundation, there's a $50 million US dollar grant program in Algos to just get your ideas off the ground and to do this on an advanced platform that the gaming industry really requires, knowing the speed and the fact that it is so quickly growing, and how those markets are expanding and monetization opportunities come into play. And then just, one more quick thing, we launched last summer. We're a very new protocol. We've seen a lot of adoption and engagement. I encourage you to check more out. I'm going to play a quick video, see if this will play right here for us, on just some of the summary of where we've been so far. So like I said, we're a year old. We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary, but I encourage you to check us out, and happy to answer any questions you might have on Algorand. Feel free to reach us at algorand.com. Thanks, Sebastien. I'll turn it over to you.
Sorry, I was mute and not on the stream. So thank you, Keli, for the nice presentation. Congratulations to the first million block. And our last speaker for the day is Devin from Opensea. Devin, are you here?
Yeah.
You hear us? Excellent.
Yeah.
You'd like to share your slides directly?
Sure.
And in the meantime, I'd like to remind the audience, if you have any question, you can post them directly in the YouTube or Twitter conversation, and we'll bring them up for speakers, all the speakers from all the company who joined BGA this month to answer at the end, right after Devin. Here, perfect. All right, Devin, your turn. Go ahead. Thank you.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Devin Finzer. I am the CEO and co-founder of Opensea. Really excited to be part of the Blockchain Game Alliance. Thanks for having me on the stream. This is going to be a pretty short presentation, but just wanted to give kind of a little background on our project and as well as some updates on what we've been up to recently. So Opensea is a marketplace for non-fungible tokens on Ethereum. So we allow people to buy and sell things like CryptoKitties. So for some projects, we're kind of this secondary third-party marketplace. For other projects, we power the primary marketplace for their game items. So this is kind of what our marketplace looks like for CryptoKitties. We have some of the most sort of sophisticated non-fungible token auction mechanics on the market at the moment. So we allow people to sell their non-fungible tokens in a variety of mechanisms, such as Dutch auctions, eBay-style auctions, bundle sales, and we also make this available to all of our developers, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So why are we excited about non-fungible tokens and crypto assets? I think a good way to summarize it is we think that crypto assets sort of combine the best of both worlds in terms of what the properties you get from digital assets and the properties you get from physical assets. So if you think about existing digital assets, while there are large markets for these things, there are issues with them, right? They're not necessarily provably scarce, often difficult to trade on open markets. They can disappear. On the other hand, physical assets are more costly to produce, difficult to track, and can sometimes be subject to counterfeit. Crypto assets have the best of both of these properties. They're provably scarce, they can last a long time, they're easily tradable, and they're impossible to counterfeit. So we ultimately think that crypto assets are long-term going to be incredibly valuable to users and have extremely high demand. But I think everyone who's part of the BGA already would agree with that. So another piece of Opensea that I think is particularly relevant to this discussion is our developer tooling. So we allow you to build your own marketplace powered by the Opensea platform. So this allows you to instantly spin up a powerful marketplace for your items, get access, give your users access to every single feature that is provided on the Opensea website to your users. It's somewhat customizable depending on how whether you want to use our white label tools or our SDK. And it also allows you to set your own fees when items sell. So if an item trades on Opensea, either whether that's on the Opensea marketplace or your own marketplace powered by Opensea, you can collect revenue from that. We have a lot of tools for running your own initial item sales. We provide some stats and market insights, and you can pay in all sorts of tokens. And I mentioned the shared revenue model. So that's a little bit of background on the project. For those of you who are familiar with the project, wanted to just share a few exciting things that we've been working on more recently. So one is Opensea Drops. So this is sort of a formalization of what folks have been doing on Opensea for a long time, which has been deploying new assets and selling them to users and kind of spreading the word. But this allows you to sort of do that in a more scheduled way where we announce it to our users, we more officially partner with you, and we kind of consult with you on how to structure the sale of your item so that it will be successful. So we're going to be kicking that off and announcing our first partners for that in July, and then likely doing the first set of drops in August. So that's definitely, if you're a game developer, I think that's a really interesting way to work with OpenSea more closely. We also launched the OpenSea Art Mall recently. So this was a project in collaboration with the Decentraland project, where we built a mall, or sort of an art gallery / mall inside of Decentraland. So you can see the outside here. It was a pretty cool event. We had, I think, just 4 artists who put their artwork up for display inside of the mall, and you could come and look at it. I think, I think somewhere around 100 people, maybe more than that, came and participated in the event. We're also working on some new features for sort of exploring and discovering the marketplace. So we recently added a change to our rankings page, which shows all of the kind of top projects by volume and market cap and number of trades. And we allow you now to kind of drill down and filter by different categories of projects. And we'll be releasing a few new features in that territory soon. We've also been working hard on our developer tool. So we have the OpenSea SDK, which allows you to kind of build your own marketplace on top of OpenSea, which I mentioned. And we've been adding a lot of new features that developers want, in particular support for purchasing packs of items and randomly generating items using smart contracts. So if you're interested in getting involved, there's a lot of different ways. If you're an artist or a creator, it's relatively easy to tokenize your art and sell it on OpenSea. If you're a game developer, I would definitely recommend checking out our SDK, our API. And then if you're just a user, I think there's a lot of really cool NFT projects there. And, OpenSea is kind of a place where you can go and discover and explore new projects. And then if you're interested in the OpenSea drops piece of things, definitely let us know. And that's it. Our Twitter is OpenSea. Mine is dfenzer, and definitely feel free to reach out.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much for this presentation. We're going to be looking at some of the questions that we got through the live. I'm just going to get them from the YouTube and Twitter. But once again, thank you so much for joining us and presenting your projects. I hope everyone found these presentations very useful. So we've got one question from Crypto Memes for Jacob, if you would like to address this one.
Yeah, sorry, I was mute, but Serena took over. So yep, let's go with question, Q&A. Juan, Jacob, are you with us?
Yes, sorry, I was having trouble unmuting. Hey, how are you? Can you hear me okay? Hello?
Hey, hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Jacob, I think Sebastian's having some problems. The question there is for you.
Okay, yeah, sure, I can answer the question. So, so Cryptomibs, feel free to contact me directly. I'm going to post my email address in the chat. We can definitely help with that. So any native mobile app can use deep linking to send requests to the Metamask mobile app to sign or to complete a transaction. And then the Metamask mobile app, at the end of the transaction, will then send the user back to your game or your native mobile app. We can totally help with that. We have some, I'll try to post some documentation regarding that in the chat.
Thank you so much for taking that on. I just now wanted to address this question that came through a while ago, which probably can be answered by most of you. So the question is, all games on Ethereum blockchain will have performance issue with the 15 transactions per second. Why are gaming crypto projects still choosing Ethereum? So if some of you want to grab these questions, I think that will be an interesting one to discuss.
I can answer that just because we've seen a lot of. Or can people hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's going to get you on the screen. There you go.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question because I think there are a lot of performance issues with Ethereum right now. I would say what we're seeing, based on kind of feedback that we've gotten from developers, is an important component of blockchain gaming in particular is like how much of an ecosystem exists around it. So I think a lot of blockchain games tend to be relatively smaller, more indie, or on the smaller side of things. We haven't seen like huge game developers come in quite yet, and so they don't necessarily have all the resources to build every single piece of the stack. And so with a newer blockchain that might be higher performant, a blockchain game has to build like the wallet, invent the NFT standard, or iterate on the NFT standard, build a marketplace, build a fiat onboarding solution. Whereas the Ethereum ecosystem has a lot of that stuff. So despite the challenges with performance and throughput, I think developers are kind of trying to weigh that those trade-offs. So we've seen a lot of a few examples of this, just to make it a little more concrete. Is recently Steam Monsters didn't fully migrate from the Steam blockchain. This was a while back. Now I think they're using Hive, but they did create a bridge to Ethereum so that they could be part of like the Ethereum community and ecosystem. And we've seen a couple other projects like kind of bridge into Ethereum, sort of for the exposure in the community.
I'd echo on that. I think a lot of it is due to the existing solutions that are part of it. But as these new platforms come out, you're seeing more and more of that being built on these high performing platforms. And it's also these platforms come out and make it easier to do things like NFTs, and they make it easier to scale. I think the other thing that Devin didn't mention is also the expense and cost of it. I think a lot of times they get a lot of reasons why we've seen a lot moving off of other platforms, and I think a lot is due to the expense of it also. So as they weigh that, it's not just the things they have to do on their own, but it's also the expense of running on a specific platform.
Fantastic. If any one of you would like to address the same question, please feel free to. Otherwise, we have another one for Jacob. Okay, so Jacob, there's another question for you. Does MetaMask have deep linking for Unity?
Sorry, I didn't get to my unmute button. Yeah. So deep linking is agnostic to the platform that your native app or your game is written in. So there's a couple of different solutions that you can use to implement it. So actually, I'm going to drop in the YouTube chat right now I just dropped a link to our documentation on deep linking. You can go to that and use it to create a deep link for your game. and implement it within your mobile app, and then you'll be able to do calls back to the Metamask mobile app. There's also, if you're trying to do signing or some other things, or you want an out-of-the-box solution, we also work with Wallet Connect, which is a great community project that's being built for the Ethereum community. I dropped a link to that as well. Wallet Connect will allow you to do signing and all that stuff out of the box. You can implement that within your Unity game. Something else that we would like to do in the near future is to provide a progressive onboarding wallet SDK that will allow you to have an out-of-the-box wallet you can embed inside of your Unity game or inside of your web app, and to allow you to prompt the user once their account has reached a certain value to upgrade their account to the full MetaMask and handle all that. That's something we're still working on, but that is in the future.
Wonderful, thank you. We do have some more questions around Ethereum, which I see they have been addressed in the chat. We're looking at interoperability. If you would like to continue this conversation, I would suggest you get in touch with our speakers at the BGA today, and I'm sure we will continue to answer and address all these questions. I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you for joining us today, presenting your project. I feel everyone has learned so much from these conversations. So once again, thank you all for attending. And we hope to see you soon again at the next BGA events. Thank you so much. Please do stay in touch and follow our next events. Sebastien, thank you for making this happen.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for organizing.
Welcome to the Blockade Game Alliance. A big round of applause to our new member this month. And thank you. Goodbye. That's the end of our stream. Thank you, Serena, for the backup.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. See you all soon.
Thank you. Bye.